We're back at Zach Earp Stadium for football night in Riverside. It is the River Valley League opener between La Sierra, the Eagles, and the Lions of Arlington. Good evening. Ghazal Hassan back with you, along with Jeff Gorham, as always. La Sierra Eagles come in, Jeff, at 1-4, but the last time out a couple of weeks ago, they put up 605 yards against Rubidoux and 47 points, 450 yards passing. They have Eddie Roy, their starting quarterback, back this week. They're going to fill the air with football. Sean Moore likes to throw the ball around, trying to get the Eagles back to the playoffs, Jeff, for the first time since 2014.
Well, talking about this team, a lot of new faces on this team. How can they implement this offense against a solid defense from Arlington?
Well, you talk about the solid defense of the Arlington Lions. They've also been able to really run the ball, over 200 yards in the last 2 games. They've won 3 of their last 4, Jeff. Their only loss was an overtime loss on the road to Buena Park. Last year when these two teams played, it was 392 yards on the ground for the Lions, so it looks like it's going to be air raid against ball control. How do the Lions stack up?
Well, I'll tell you what, the Lions are doing great this year. You think about their rebuilding 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was, they were CIF and state finalists. And I'll tell you, Kevin Argamosa has this team playing. They have a kicker, they've got a great tight end, and a quarterback that can kind of move and get around.
Yeah. Well, league play is here, folks. It's what you've been waiting for. It's the Lions and the Eagles coming up next. The CIF on Riverside TV.
The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Convenient curbside trash collection services promote a clean and healthy Riverside. To help us provide you with top-quality service, we ask you to follow a few key rules. When placing your trash containers for pickup, please observe the following. Place each container with at least 3 feet separation from each other and at least 6 feet from obstructions such as parked cars, fire hydrants, mailboxes, and trees. Your bin should be placed at the curb no later than 5:30 a.m. on your collection day with the arrow on the lid pointed toward the street to ensure your bins get emptied. If you are experiencing issues with your trash collection, or perhaps need a replacement for a damaged trash bin, please contact our customer service call center by using the 311 app or website, or by dialing 951-826-5311 to reach one of our customer service representatives. And for more information about trash services, recycling, or bulky items, visit the Public Works website at riversideca.gov/publicworks.
I'm Cheech Marin, and we're inviting you to reserve your spot for the inaugural showing of Cheech Collects. So get your tickets today. We're looking for you.
High school sports are one of the things that make living in California so great.
Athletics builds character, teamwork, physical fitness,
and shows what hard work can achieve.
And some of us can even earn a college scholarship or qualify for the Olympics.
But sometimes the behavior in the stands can overshadow our achievements on the field.
I love it when my parents show up for me.
But being booed for missing a play can be crushing.
Parents who lose their minds when we don't score aren't helping.
It can actually be super distracting. We should be able to hold our heads high after the match, win or lose.
And remember that refs are people too.
They're trying their best to call a fair and correct game.
Even if you may not love the call.
Seeing and hearing people, belligerently be mean to you, it makes you not want to play anymore. It makes you just want to go sit on the sidelines and cry. Like, it's not fun.
No one should feel insulted or ashamed
because of their race, ethnicity, or gender.
Hey, and enough with all the swearing.
Anger has no place here.
Thank you for being part of the change, and thank you for being there to lift us up.
Live local. Help support your favorite businesses with the Shop Riverside Community Card. With over 200 Riverside businesses giving exclusive discounts and offers to community cardholders, there's something for everyone. Participating organizations sell these cards for only $15 each, with $10 going straight back to the organization itself, making the Shop Riverside Community Card a fantastic way to support your favorite local group. For more information about the Shop Riverside Community Card and to find participating businesses, please visit shopriversidenow.com. And don't forget to live local. Shop Riverside.
Welcome back. Zach Erb Stadium. Ghazal and Jeff back with you. About to get underway. Ceremonial coin flip coming up, Jeff. Now, you had a chance to talk to the gentlemen who are involved in this. We'll hear that at halftime.
Yeah, the great Reggie Wyatt, who was, ran for the U.S. Olympic team. He was a world champion. Was a national champion at USC. And we had a chance to say hello to him before the game and give him some great news that we'll talk about at halftime.
Captain shaking hands before the coin flip. Opener of River Valley League play between Arlington and La Sierra. And La Sierra, we mentioned 1-4, but they won on the 15th of September at Rubidoux. It was overturned. There was a paperwork error regarding the eligibility of one of the players who will not be playing tonight. They did win that game 47-14 on the field and put up over 600 yards, Jeff. So Sean Moore, an offensive guy, loves to play that spread. They're going to try to spread the field and just throw the ball all over the field, while Kevin Argamosa's Arlington squad, we know what they are, meat and potatoes, ground and pound football. He's going to try to control the football, which they've done the last 2 weeks, rushing for over 200 yards in each of the first two games. When these two teams played last year, Jeff, in Week 10, it was nearly 400. They were a biscuit under 400 yards. I know you love biscuits. Were the Arlington Lions.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Argamosa has really made this team, competitive again. It was after that championship year. It was a tough one for them, and they seem to have kind of righted the ship. They beat Riverside Poly, which everybody loves doing, but they did it by playing smart football. It's not pretty, but it is very, very good football.
Yeah, something both coaches told me. We're in league play now. So not so much more with Arlington, but definitely with La Sierra. I think in the non-league schedule, Coach Moore kind of wanted to keep the offense and defense separate platoons. Now we're going to see a few more guys maybe playing on both sides of the football. Kevin Argamosa for Arlington, they've already been doing that all year.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to win ball games, especially in league, you're going to have to bring out your very best. And if that very best means they play both ways, then it's going to have to be by playing both sides.
Yeah.
But yes, it's definitely going to be a good one to watch. La Sierra, though, there's a bit of a surprise. We haven't seen them very much in the last year, so it'd be nice to see this La Sierra offense with a lot of new faces.
So Ruben Romo is our white hat today. He's conducting the coin flip with Mr. Reginald Wyatt. He'll now step up and actually flip the coin. Field pass for La Sierra. And I'm excited to watch this because, and conventional wisdom being what it is, right? I think the thought is that Norte Vista is still the class of the River Valley League, but then everything else after that is more or less up for grabs. We've seen Ramona is pretty good this year. Patriot looks like they're a serious threat. So this, believe it or not, it sounds funny, right? It's week 1 of league play. This could be a pivot game for both La Sierra and for Arlington.
Yeah, this is good. Like you said, this could be a playoff spot. We saw Norte Vista last night. Norte Vista manhandled Hillcrest. So Norte Vista right now, if you look at the cream of the crop, you got to remember, Ramona's out there, you have Patriot out there, and this Arlington team is really, really trying hard to get back in those playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see Ramona a couple times again. We'll see Hillcrest again. I think we're going to see Patriot at some point this year too, right, Jeff?
Yes, we are. So, yeah, this is going to be a very different River Valley League, to say the least.
So Mr. Wyatt tosses the coin. Let's see who won the toss.
Remember, he ran for the United States in the 300 meters and was in intermediate hurdles. He set the CIF state record meet in the 300 meters by going 35.2 seconds. Can you imagine? That's going pretty fast.
Running fast is one thing. Running fast while jumping over stuff, a totally different dimension.
And remember, he used to race against Michael Johnson. In fact, he beat Michael Johnson before.
So La Sierra wins the toss. They will receive. We'll throw it right now to the third member of our broadcast team standing by, Peyton Beatty. Peyton, what do you got for us?
Game of the season, La Sierra versus Arlington. You know, La Sierra is currently 1-4 and Arlington is 3-2. But La Sierra has a few members who are now playing this game who actually came from Arlington, including their quarterback, Eddie Roy. Now, he did sit out the first few games of the season, so this is the first game that he's playing. They're very excited to see what happens. Both teams have all of their players healthy and ready to play the first game. La Sierra is wearing their funeral black jerseys because they said they feel confident in it. It's a real hype thing for them. You know, they're feeling good. Both teams, both coaches are excited to see what the teams got for them going today. You know, I'm really excited to see what both teams got. They are ready for the first game of the season. Now, let's go back up to you guys.
Thanks, Peyton. Well, you know, Jeff Gorham's excited right now because this is going to be his first chance to see Javier Hernandez live. You got to interview him this year. We haven't seen him play yet.
El Luce Legador. I wanted to go over and say something to him before the game, but he was in deep, deep thought. I didn't want to mess with him.
58-yard field goal earlier this year for Mr. Hernandez, who was off playing soccer when we were doing the game against Poly.
He was in, where was he, in Mexico City? Or Chihuahua, somewhere out there, La Michoacan.
And you said that he's got some good offers for soccer from some good schools.
I mean, he is a AP student athlete. His goal is to play for either North Carolina. I believe he said the other school might have been an Ivy League school. So the guy
was Georgetown in there?
Georgetown, that's what it was. Georgetown.
So it's like the 1982 NCAA final.
Yes, it is.
Patrick Ewing and Michael Jordan and James Worthy.
Yeah, Georgetown and North Carolina. North Carolina, one of the premier soccer programs in the country.
Out of bounds. That was come out to the 25-yard line, backing off. That was Montrail Gitcheway. He's a freshman wide receiver for La Sierra who will watch, and we'll get a chance to see the Eagles. At the controls will be Eddie Roy, who, if you recall, Jeff, as Peyton mentioned in the open, played last year at Arlington.
Oh, that's right. Was he part of that state championship run?
As a sophomore, yes, he was. No, I'm sorry. He was on the bench. He didn't play. He played last year as a sophomore, yes. So here we go from the 25-yard line. Watch the backfield. TJ Avalana, the junior running back, had 117 yards a couple of weeks ago. So they'll go 4 receivers. Spread offense for La Sierra. Arlington comes out in that 3-4. Looks like a man look on the outside.
I don't know why we're waiting here. It's 10 after, and we have not hiked the football yet.
Larry Triplett is pointing to the Arlington bench. Oh, it looks like the chain gang is a little out of sorts. Not to throw the chain gang under the bus, but we're just trying to report facts here, folks.
Aren't chain gangs usually prisoners and criminals?
Not according to Chrissy Hind. First down. Here's the give to Avalana running left. And he runs headlong into Adrian Mendoza, who pulls him down. About a 2-yard pickup on the play.
Now, did she say there was a funeral black uniforms? Is that what I heard her say?
That's what she said.
Funeral black.
I was going to say Raider colors, but it's not really even Raider colors.
No, it's...
High snap. Roy pulls it down, and he just burns the down. Mendoza was coming, and maybe a little love tap there, reminiscent of the love tap that Aaron Rodgers got on that final episode of Hard Knocks.
Did Aaron Rodgers get a love tap?
In the Giant game, remember on Hard Knocks, he kept saying, "Don't poke the bear." Remember? I don't even know who you are.
Oh,
that didn't work out well. That didn't work out for A-Rod though. 3rd and 8 from the 22. Interesting formation here. They got 3 players lined up on the top of the formation. Split out to the near side is Aiden Rockwell, the sophomore, who played quarterback against Rubidoux. 3rd and 8. Roy to throw. Looks over the middle. Complete for the first down to the 35-yard line. Making the catch, Tristan Pasalakwa.
His dad, Tim, is the defensive coordinator, correct? Tim Pasalakwa.
He's the defensive coordinator. You are correct.
There's 2 Pasalakwas playing in tonight's game.
First completion, a couple of ex-Arlington guys hooking up. And the ball all the way to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, La Sierra. Swing pass out of the backfield to Avalana, and he drops it. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
So we had a good one last night. I mentioned Norte Vista played on the road here at their own stadium, but gave Hillcrest a pretty solid beating last night. A lot of passing from Norte Vista, a lot like this in the flat. And Tajon Henderson was brilliant in that game.
Rene Valtierra lined up in the backfield with Eddie Roy. Out of the backfield to Valtierra. Valtierra up to the 40-yard line. And they'll be dropped into the 38. Jay Christensen makes the tackle. 3rd and 5 coming up. Flag on the play. Looked like there was movement before the pass. Here comes Ruben Romo after talking to Larry Triplett. He was asking about you on the field before the game, by the way, Mr. Triplett.
I was able to wave to him and say hello. I saw these guys Saturday. This crew was at the Fremont, California School for the Deaf Riverside game, and they gave me a coin, the coin that you flip. I gave it to my son when I went home. An amazing coin that they use from the Southern California or Inland Area Referees Association. And there's going to be a hold on the defense.
So move it up 10 yards to the 45. Wipe off the play. From the 45, 1st and 10, La Sierra. Roy looking over the middle. Nearly intercepted. Incomplete. On the coverage there was Kayvon Tolbert. Pass was intended for Eric Mays. Mays, a Ramona transfer. Didn't play football last year. Incomplete.
Good looking throw, just a little ahead of the receiver. I wonder if there's some nerves there from Mr. Roy playing against his old team. It's got to be kind of fun.
He looked ready to go before the game.
Tall kid. Tall drink of water, as they'd say.
6'3". Here's Pasalakwa in motion. Play action. Here's the throw to Pasalakwa, and it's caught. 2 receivers. This is Mays with the catch. He's into the open field. Mays to the 30, and finally brought down at about the 20-yard line, making the tackle Devon Thomas for Arlington to gain all the way out to the 21-yard line. 34-yard pickup. Let's take another look.
Boy, this is just a great play by La Sierra. 2 receivers in one spot. Defensive back had to make a decision. He chose wrong. And a great run there. Did you say he's a Ramona transfer?
Yeah,
huh?
Didn't play football, but was a Ramona kid who's now at La Sierra. So ball to the 20-yard line. Rockwell split to the near side. Pasalakwa in the near slot. Mays at the top of the formation. Valtierra in the far slot. Now you see Pasalakwa moving there. 1st and 10 from the 20 for La Sierra. Funeral Black La Sierra, the Eagles. Give to Avalana. dives forward for about 3, combining on the tackle. Daniel Gonzalez and Keith Cook for Arlington, 2nd and 3.
We're seeing a big mixture of passing and running here from La Sierra early on.
Second down. Incomplete. Isaac Gomez was bearing down on Roy, so he just unloaded it. Now 2 of 4 through the air. Third down.
Arlington, the big boys up front, able to get through that offensive line a couple times, putting Roy on his heels.
Yeah, very aggressive up front. We know this is a game that's going to be won in the trenches. Here comes the pressure from Gomez. And, yeah, Eddie Roy decides, let me just get rid of it here. He had Pasalacqua in the vicinity. That's interesting what they do, meaning Arlington, what Kevin Argumosa does with Adrian Mendoza, kind of lines up as an end, but then he had him drop back into pass coverage, almost sliding from a 43 back to the 34. Third down. Bunch formation at the top of your screen. Here comes Pasalacqua in motion. Out of the backfield, Avalana. Avalana with the catch, got the first down inside the 10-yard line to about the 9. Tackle on the play made by Keith Cook. First down. Avalana with a nice cut to the inside there. And finally down, 1st and goal from the 9 for La Sierra. So a nice drive for the Eagles, started back at the 20-yard line. They've traversed 71 yards to the Arlington 9. Passing game looks to be clicking in the early going. Pressure. Throws it away, incomplete. Mendoza bearing down.
That's the third time tonight that Arlington's been able to make Roy get rid of the football.
2nd and goal coming up. It's interesting when I talk to Sean Moore, you know, he's always talking about, hey, I want to run up-tempo, I want to run fast. They're throwing the ball, but it didn't seem like they're in a hurry. They're very methodical, although they're throwing the ball mostly. They're becoming kind of in a methodical manner. They're not playing up-tempo. Look at Sean Moore right there, clapping the play. He's signaling the play right now. 2nd-year head coach for La Sierra. Played for Dick Bruick at Kaiser. And then later played some college ball, got a cup of coffee in the NFL, and timeout at La Sierra here with 9:09 to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, getting this La Sierra team scoring some points here. I mean, they've got, what did you say, they haven't made the playoffs since
they were playing Roni ball back in 2014. Wow. That was the year they beat Novi. They shocked Novi here on this field.
Only a few teams have shocked, a few La Sierra teams have really ever shocked Ken Batdorf. It was part of the Craig Cheslick days back in about 16, 18 years ago. They gave Ken Batdorf probably the worst beating he's had on this field. But ever since then, it has been all Novi, to say the least. Great coaches, though, have come out of La Sierra. The great Roger Folsom. You have Hank Moore. You've had Rob Curry. You've had some really, really Mike Churchill.
Intercepted by Mendoza at the goal line. Mendoza could go to the house. Oh, my. Big guy running with the football. 98-yard pick six. Adrian Mendoza, like DoorDash Jeff, he is to the house.
Wow, what a great play there from Mendoza. And I'll tell you what, we were talking about him earlier this week on the Coach's Perspective. I told Coach to bring his birth certificate because he looks like he's about 45 years old, but he has been spectacular. We've seen him over at Arlington earlier this season. He was a beast. He couldn't be stopped. Couldn't catch him.
Soccer player who came out for football.
Yes.
And Kevin Argumosa said, okay, I understand soccer's your focus. We'll just have you come out a couple days a week for special teams. And Mendoza said, hey, Coach, no. I'm in. I'm all in. You tell me what to do. I'm going to go. And, Coach Argumosa said, you love the player who just loves playing football. And Adrian Mendoza is one of those guys. and the highlight reel pick six there.
Do you think he's ever ran that fast in his life? He was pointing around.
He's a soccer guy.
He was pointing to everything. He was all over the place.
Are they going for? They're going to go for two here. It looks like they have a world-class place kicker, but I think this is a message job.
This is they're going to go against the funeral colors of black.
Funeral black. You love that, huh?
I do.
You should buy Peyton a Starbucks or something. Okay, now they'll shift back into the kicking formation.
Oh, there he is. There's El Lucha Legador. You got to use the kicker.
Hey, you don't have Sinatra in the band and have him play the drums.
No.
PAT goes through, and
the fourth farthest field goal in California history.
Get a look at the pick six again. Let's see what happened there. So Roy, he's been looking middle, and it's the height and athleticism. He was looking for the end zone, and then look at Mendoza pointing.
He's gone. Everybody.
Remember, he and Roy used to be teammates. So last year, Roy was throwing passes. Mendoza's also a tight end. And he threw one right there. It dives into the end zone, and a touchdown coming up. And they threw the flag. No, they didn't throw the flag. Okay, I saw it lining up at midfield, but they'll kick it from the 40. So how about that? 71-yard drive ends in a pick six the other way. And there's what do you call El Luchador?
No, El Lucha
Legador.
El Lucha Legador.
Do you know what position that Javier plays for soccer?
Anywhere he wants.
Okay.
I really don't. I could sound cool and say, he's a midfielder.
And he plays the 6. It's numbers, right, in soccer.
Is it numbers in
soccer? There's like a 6 or a 9 or a 10 or a 7. He's like Busquets. He's kind of a 6, but he can slide back to the 8.
I told you that I was offered to do a soccer game today.
You should do a soccer match.
I don't know anything about soccer other than AYSO rules.
It never stopped you doing football, Jeff. As Javier Hernandez booms it out of the end zone. I'm sorry. You know I love you, right? You know I love you.
It's the best.
I just live to make you laugh.
I love soccer. In fact, I'm going to go watch some soccer tomorrow morning.
Fast Johnny.
Fast Johnny's got a big match. Luke, by the way, his football team is 0-2. They haven't scored.
Oh, man.
They got beat 29-0 this evening at Paloma Valley High School on the big field.
You need to have Coach Backdorf go and have a talk, fire him up.
They got to do something. They got to trade kids. They might have to trade Luke.
We're back in the 80s when the Dodgers were slumping. Tommy Lasorda would get in the third base coaching box. I think Mr. Backdorf needs to make an appearance. I mean, you bought him enough burritos. 1st and 10 from the 20. 7-0, so the pick six for Arlington, and the defense back out on the field from the 20 works La Sierra. Avellana stopped in his tracks, and the defense starting to gain some traction for Arlington. That was Keith Cook in on the hit. He got some help on the play from Anthony Trujillo. Avellana, junior running back, has done a pretty good job. Picks up a yard on the play. He had a big game against Rubidoux. 2nd and 9 coming up. Roy to throw. Here comes pressure. Roy stepping up, and down he goes. Mendoza all over the place. No, I'm sorry. That wasn't Mendoza. That was Diaz. Jonathan Diaz on the sack, and 3rd down coming up.
I'll tell you what, this defense has been really stellar so far for for Arlington. They're putting 4 up front, but they're sliding that middle secondary right through those gaps.
I mean, they started a 4-man front, but you'll see Mendoza will drop back. Palaji from the end, they'll drop back and almost kind of be a 3-4. So Kevin Argumosa varying his look up front. 3rd down from the 19. Roy's got time. He'll fling it to the outside. Nearly intercepted again. Was looking for Avellana. On the coverage was Gonzalez.
I'll tell you what, though, that hole is closed. That pocket, I should say, is closing really quickly, and Roy not able to get rid of the football in time to get his man open. There you go. Watch again. Here's the staying in the pocket. They go from both sides.
He did have time. That's just good coverage downfield.
Yeah, that was great coverage.
So the punting team comes on. from the 19. And movement. So Dominic Rojas back to kick, and a 5-yard penalty assessed on the Eagles. And I think maybe the pick six, they're a little shook, Jeff.
I would be too. I mean, they have offensively they look kind of out of sorts. We haven't even seen Arlington's offense. We might not see them all tonight.
Okay, so here's Valtierra in to kick. Rene Valtierra, the senior, is a place kicker. Now he'll punt it away. And a line drive kick, fielded at the 48-yard line. Bringing it back the other way is Anthony Avina. Avina dives down at about the 35-yard line. So a 14-yard return on a 29-yard punt, and 1st and 10 from the 35.
But I do like, we've talked about it all season long, those special teams guys, the guy that's back, they're catching the football. They're not letting it go anymore. And you got to get something, especially from your special teams, and that puts them in great field position here.
Instead, that was Nick Roman on the return.
Did you say Nick Romanoff?
Nick Roman.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was a Russian spy.
And Nick Roman, for many years, was the chief editor at NPR in Pasadena. He's a UCI alum as well, just like me. Big Dodger fan. 2-by-2. 1st and 10 from the 36 officially. First offensive play for Arlington. Here's the give to Thomas running right. And he's stacked up there on the right side. A convoy of Eagles show up.
A convoy? What would be let's see what a bunch of... I've never seen a bunch of Eagles flying around together, though. They're solitary birds.
Elias Ross on the hit. 2nd down coming up. Thomas just back to the line of scrimmage, so no gain.
I guess it would just be a flock.
Is it?
Would it be?
Crows is a murder.
Yeah, it's a murder.
Seagulls are a flock. Here's the toss to Thomas left side. Thomas with a little bit of space. Breaks the initial tackle, but then maybe a yard on the play. First man to him was Matthew Cardenas. Eventually cleaned up by Emmanuel Mayorga. Good set of linebackers for La Sierra. Here's the toss running left. There's Cardenas, and then Mayorga cleans it up. So the defense stepping up now for the Eagles, and they've been a pretty good defensive team, Jeff. They lost opening weekend 33-6 against Carter, but they haven't allowed more than 14 points since week 0. And the 7 points, remember, they gave up today wasn't for the defense. 3rd down, Thomas with the run to the right side, surging up to the 30-yard line.
But you know what it's called? A spread of Eagles.
Is it?
Yeah, spread, or there's another term. It would be a convocation. But I think spread sounds better with football. I don't want to say a convocation of Eagles.
Cardenas on the tackle, 4th down coming up. Clock continues to move. And looks like the offense going to stay out there for Kevin Argumosa. Double tight end set. I love, I'll sit there and talk with Kevin Argumosa about the whole tight end thing because he loves to use him, and he uses them well. 4th and 5. Mendoza in motion. They'll give it right up the middle to Thomas. 1st down and more as he breaks to the 2nd level and pulled down at about the 16-yard line, so a 1st down on the play.
And we've seen Akili Thomas, a few times this season. He is one of those playmakers that is hard to stop.
Yeah, Thomas played as a varsity as a sophomore, so he's a dude. And once he breaks that first level of contact, breaks a tackle there.
What do we call finally, the yak?
Yeah, Joel Cabrera combining on the tackle with Emmanuel Mayorga there. 1st and 10 from the 16 for Arlington. And, man, they're just going straight bread and butter, 5 more yards for Akili Thomas, making the tackle Parker Pasalacqua.
And La Sierra putting 5, 6 guys up there, 7 guys in the box. But they're running through those gaps pretty darn easy so far for Arlington.
Coach Argumosa, nothing's fancy. He's not trying to fool you. You know exactly what he's doing. He's going to come and run it straight up, ground and pound. Thomas again dives over the right side. Stopped at about the 10, maybe a yard on the play.
Yeah, I don't picture Argamosa as a dainty guy. He kind of is you look at him, and that's the way his guys play. Tough.
Yeah. You invite Kevin Argamosa to a dinner party, he will not request caviar. Okay?
He will not.
Now, let's put it that way. He's like you. I can't imagine you requesting caviar.
No, I've had it once. It's terrible. I do want to catch a sturgeon, though, with my bare hands.
Akili Thomas dives inside again, about 2.5.
I know you're a big hunter, Gazal. Would you ever?
I do listen, but remember something. I'm not one of these, shoot 'em guys. I'm a bow and arrow guy.
See, I'm a noodler. I like to noodle.
There's Kevin Argamosa.
I want to catch a sturgeon with my bare hands. Put my hand.
Is Connor a big fishing guy?
Connor is a huge fisherman. So the oldest boy is always fishing.
4th down and 1 from the 9. Option. Toss. Breaks a tackle, but not that time. Parker Pasalakwa with the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. 2-yard loss. Ball goes over on downs to La Sierra. Big stand on 4th and 1.
Yeah, huge stand there. And that was a dicey call to throw the underhand pitch right as there was contact.
I mean, you're doing such a good job running between. I get it. You're trying to vary the look, but you're doing such a good job running tackles.
That's a running tackle. Come
on. Roy gives it off to Avalana, and he's stopped in his tracks. Second down coming up as we tick under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter here. 7-0 Arlington.
Everybody is talking about the uniforms because I mentioned Ramona have the best uniforms. Everybody comes up to me, assistant at La Sierra, say, Coach, we have 5 different unis.
Okay.
I said, but do they look as cool as Ramona?
Everything's changed, though, Jeff, as Roy throws over the middle. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That was Eric Mays. 3rd down coming up. Sean Moore there calling the offense, the head coach of the Eagles of La Sierra. 2nd year. Was head coach over at A.B. Miller for a little bit.
Played for Dick Bruick, too, huh?
Kaiser. 3rd down. Incomplete. Looking for Mays again on the coverage was Devon Harris for Arlington. 4th down. When I talked with Coach Moore, obviously he talked about Coach Bruick, but he said, the guys who've helped him, among the other guys who've helped him, Matt Logan at Centennial, he said, was very influential with him, and Jeff Steinberg.
Steinberg, the Canadian.
Oh, Canada.
I said hello to him this week. I wished him well.
Well, Beaumont's playing well. They got a big one, Yucktown, right?
Yeah, Beaumont.
Is Ukaipa undefeated as well? They're both undefeated, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that tonight on the Friday night Jeff Rally.
The Pep Rally.
The Jeff Rally.
Oh, the Jeff Rally. Oh, that's right. No Pep tonight. There it is. The Friday night Pep Rally. 11 p.m. every Friday night for scores, highlights, and interviews. Check us out tonight. Later on, we got a special guest, one of your friends.
Valtierra is with the punt and the whistle. Didn't catch the kick. Bill Parcells would not be happy.
He would not be. No, we're going to have a special guest, actor, comedian extraordinaire.
And former John W. North football player.
And he has 2 first names.
Ahmed joining us on the Pep Rally. He's going to talk about a fundraiser he's doing for Morocco and Hawaii. And it's a pretty big deal. It's funny. I had him on to promote it, and they've already sold it out. So,
wow.
Named so nice, they named him twice. Penalty will take it back to the 6-yard line. So 5-yard penalty assessed on La Sierra. Another flag comes in. And, of course, Pep Fernandez will zoom in.
He's zooming in from
it's the Jeff Rally, but we'll still hear from the great Pep Fernandez.
Maybe. I might just ban him. I'll ban him from his own show.
Yeah, you can't ban him from the second most popular show on Riverside TV after the football game of the week.
Third most. What are you talking about?
No, you're right. Third. You're right. You're right.
Because you know what?
Because it's Friday nights with the football night in Riverside. It's the coach's perspective.
Award-winning coach's perspective.
Yeah.
Award-winning game of the week. There's no awards yet for the Friday night pep rally.
We will punt it yet again. Valtierra puts his foot into it. Line drive caught at the 36-yard line. So a 30-yard kick, no return. Nick Roman does the honors, and now short field yet again for Arlington. But La Sierra defense did a nice job last time.
Yeah, both teams stopping each other. Arlington's defense was so far the best offense tonight.
98-yard pick six by Adrian Mendoza. That's the only score on the board right now. So call it the 37. And now here they come out in four receivers. Burr feeds Thomas, who runs right into the hands of the defender, Parker Pasalakwa.
Stymied by the defense.
And Pasalakwa, a former Arlington guy, so he's playing tough. Also in on the hit there, Matthew Reyes. Reyes, who's also the left tackle, playing a little defense as well now for La Sierra. Second down. Rolling right is Burr. We'll just pull it down. A little bit of a broken play, trying to get rid of it. Bearing down on him was Elias Ross. Third down after Burr throws the incompletion. (7-0) Arlington here. River Valley League opener, league play, Jeff Gorham.
I love league play. So much different than the preseason.
Baraja split out to the near side. Three receivers. Thompson in motion. Again, bobbling the snap is Burr. He's being chased. He'll slide down at about the 30-yard line. Ross was there waiting for him. 5-yard pickup on the play for Broderick Burr. Third down coming up.
So over at third in Chicago, I was told that North is down 14-0 to Orange Vista. Orange Vista without Sire Gaines tonight. Has a broken foot. The Arizona State commit.
Corner blitz there. Juan Sanchez coming. So 4th and 5. Here comes Hernandez. This will be a 47-yarder as the first quarter ticks down.
Referees having a conference.
Yeah, Ruben Romo talking with the side judge, Bill Barrett. Now they'll wind the clock, 17 seconds to play.
Look
Hernandez.
at that.
No good.
No good, but man, he can kick the ball.
So a missed field goal with 2.4 seconds left in the first quarter. 7-0 Arlington. They're turned away yet again. So a lot of the talk has been about the offense for La Sierra. Their defense, at least in the first quarter, Jeff, acquitting itself quite well.
They have done a great job against this smash ground and pound slobber knocker Arlington High School team. And look at La Sierra. La Sierra wearing the spread, throwing the ball around the field here.
Yeah, kind of contrast in styles, right? You get a look at Kevin Argamosa, the head coach of Arlington. Kind of the ball control of the Lions against the air raid style of La Sierra, and a penalty is going to be marked off. Oh, no. Go back to the 20, actually, after the field goal miss. So from the 20. Ruben Romo stopping the clock, or not starting the clock. Montreal Gitchaway split out to the near side. Eric Mays to the far side. Pasalacqua standing next to Valtierra. And then Avalana is the tailback. 1st and 10. Roy to throw. Looking near side. Now he's in trouble. Scrambling. He's down and he lost the football. Recovered by La Sierra. That's the end of the first quarter. Lost back to the 16-yard line. And the pressure has been intense from that front three or front four of Arlington as we're at the end of the first quarter with a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, those front guys up front are doing a great job. I mean, that was just pure strength getting through that gap.
Yeah, well, that's a great play by the big fella there. Isaac Gomez missed the first time through but didn't give up, just kept coming and knocked the ball away. And we'll switch sides here at the end of the first quarter. Gonzalez and with you along with Jeff Gorham. Peyton Beatty down along the sideline. 7-0 Arlington, the opener of River Valley League play.
Orange Vista up 21-0 at our other game over John W. North.
So it's the Coyotes barking at the doghouse.
They are. Well, you know, who wins in a fight? A Husky or a Coyote? And I know who'd win this. A Husky would.
Yeah, Husky's got the strength,
dismantle
right?
them.
Yeah. Do you have coyotes in your neighborhood?
We do, but I have Thor, and Thor the German Shepherd won't put up with them. We used to have possums, but my dog, you know, you've been around Thor. He's a big 100-pound German Shepherd, and they walk across the back fence. Well, Thor will run and hit his nose and knock him into the next backyard. He doesn't allow visitors in our yard.
Like the Dikembe Mutombo of the Canine Kingdom.
No, you don't come in there.
Second down, so I guess they ruled that an incomplete pass. So second down coming up. 2nd and 10, La Sierra from the 20. They ruled Roy's arm moving forward. He'll throw again to the outside, out of the backfield, Avalana, and it's incomplete, 3rd down. TJ Avalana, the junior running back for La Sierra. Sean Moore had a lot of nice things to say about him. So it just goes beyond his production. That just another kid who wants to be a football player.
And I'll tell you what, La Sierra's throwing the ball, peppering it all over the field.
That's right.
Not being able to connect here, but you got to assume it's going to connect sometime here with the athletes we've seen so far.
3rd and 10. Roy Tavalana complete to the 20-yard line, and he'll be bumped out at about the 24. Nick Roman comes over and makes the stop. 4th down coming up. Roy's first start today, so you expect a little bit of rust. Nice job there getting the ball to Avalana, but Roman knows what's up, and 4th down coming up, and the punt team will come out for La Sierra. The Eagles looking to get to the playoffs for the first time since 2014 when their head coach was Jeff Roney. You know the River Valley League score, Jeff?
I don't. I heard something about Ramona in my ear, but I couldn't.
13-10 Ramona over Patriot.
Oh.
Second quarter. Your alma mater.
Ram high.
So Valtierra to punt again. Back at midfield is Nick Roman. And here come flags.
That's going to send them back even further.
So third penalty on La Sierra. They've all been of the 5-yard variety.
Yeah, the 5-yard variety is a misdemeanor.
Okay.
Then you get those 10 and 15-yarders. Those are felonies.
Good kick. It'll bounce and roll into Arlington territory, and it'll take another bounce down to the 38-yard line. So a 42-yard kick, no return, and that's where Arlington will start it off. Ball down by Juan Sanchez. 1st and 10 Lions. 10:31 to play second quarter. Week 1 of River Valley League play.
And tomorrow we have another game added to the schedule. The City College of Riverside,
RCC,
goes against Mount San Jacinto at their new stadium in Menifee.
The stadium in the Fee.
We'll have that game, I believe, at 6 p.m. tomorrow night.
Intercepted by Eric Mays. Snatches it away at the 45-yard line. Still running. Mays dancing 35, trying to reverse his field. Juarez holds him up at about the 35. And that's where he'll be stopped. Interception. 7th pick on the year for Mays, among the league leaders in the country.
Well, Mays is just an athlete. Like you said, a transfer from Ramona who didn't play. But just an athlete. Couldn't bring him down. It was tough to get him down on the floor.
So we saw a turnover turn into a touchdown for Arlington. Let's see what La Sierra can do with their newfound fortune playing the short field here. The Sean Moore tried to go up top right here after the turnover. Ball came back officially to the 36. Mays now split out to the bottom of the screen. Near slot Rockwell. Avalana stumbles down, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. Yeah. Turf monster got him.
The grass monster. A gopher got him.
Second and 9 for La Sierra. Montrail Gitchaway split out to the near side, trips to the far side for La Sierra. Roy looking for Gitchaway, sits down to the 30. Nice move inside of the 25-yard line, first down. Tackle on the play made by Daniel Gonzalez.
Isn't there a Gitchaway that used to play for RCC?
Yeah, no relation.
Oh. Yeah, perfect pass there from Roy.
Gitchaway, a freshman. And I was talking to Sean Moore. He's kind of still learning. We kind of threw him into it against Carter and wasn't sure if he was ready, but kind of slow, pacing it slowly, spoon-feeding him a little bit. But he says, talented young man who deserves to be out there. He's done the work in practice. Second timeout used by Sean Moore and the Eagles. 9:06 to play second quarter. 1st and 10 from the 24 off the turnover. The interception by Eric Mays, the junior. And, Sean Moore feels really good about this team. A lot of guys coming back next year. So he feels pretty good. You get a look at the head coach of La Sierra. He was on the coach's perspective with you this week.
We had a lot of guys on this week. It was a busy, busy show.
Cast of thousands. One of Johnny's vacation shows. Yeah. Remember when Carson used to go on vacation, they used to have more guests. Eagles, in addition to not having made the playoffs since 2014, Jeff, the last time they won a league game was back in 2018. 24 straight losses in league play.
Wow.
And the game they won, it was 25-24 against Harupa Valley. That was the year that Harupa Valley just didn't have a kicker.
that's right.
They had to keep going for 2.
I remember that.
Maybe they had a kicker and he got hurt or something. I forget exactly the circumstance. Avalana slides to the outside. Gonzalez, the first man there. Couple of yards on the play. Now, you spent your freshman year at Cal, right?
Yes.
You were up in the Bay Area.
Loved it.
Remember Oakland hip-hop was popping really big at that time?
Oaktown 357.
Late 80s, early 90s. Do you remember, as Avelina runs straight on into Gonzalez, remember an artist called Del the Funky Homo Sapien?
Yes, I do.
And he had a song called Mr. Dabalina. That's what I think
Bob
of.
Dabalina.
Mr. Avalana. That's what I think. I bet you that was playing at loud volumes at the Strength House.
Oh, that's so funny.
2nd and 8 coming up.
Yeah, that was at the height of MC Hammer.
Roy thrown to the outside. In and out of the hands of Mays, trying to come back and catch it incomplete. 3rd down. Now keep in mind, Eddie Roy, transfer, he had to sit out the first 5 games, just eligible, so he's had the reps in practice, just hasn't had that game speed yet.
Oh, that's right.
And he'll get up to speed soon. He was a starter last year for Arlington. Those incompletions, I think it's a little indicative of rust more than anything else.
Does this help my street cred? I was once hanging out with Too Short. He refused to talk to me, though.
Oh, okay.
We were hanging out, sitting right next to each
I do
other.
that to you all the time. It's not a big deal. 3rd and 8 coming up. Here's the pressure. Trying to get rid of it, complete to Avalana, but he can't hold on. 4th down.
Arlington thought that was a fumble. I kind of did for a second as well, but
4th down coming up. Let's another look at it. Let's see. Let's take another look. Roy releases it. You may be right, Jeff. I don't know if he made a football move, though.
I'm not sure.
I think he was still trying to secure the ball. So here comes Valtierra, I think. Oh, he's going to go at wide receiver. So he is their kicker, but he's split out wide. And they're going to go for it here. 4th and 8 from the 22 of Arlington. Mays to the bottom of your screen. Looking over the middle, Mays has the first down inside the 10.
You got to like the confidence of the Eagles trying that play right across the middle.
14-yard completion for the first down, 1st and goal. Good protection, and Roy, we talk about this all the time. Avalana to the left side, but down to about the 6-yard line, 3 yards for him. When you're trying to get a quarterback going, when he's having a little bit of trouble, what does every coach tell us? We release the ball quickly, just get it out of his hand.
Get it out. Do not overthink it.
2nd down, Avalana running to the outside. Gonzalez, the first man there, slows him up. And then a Pride of Lions shows up. He still surges. They're going to mark him to the 4-yard line.
There's a flag on a play. I think this is going to be holding. I think it's going to bring him back.
Ruben Romo, our white hat, is going to sort everything out.
Yeah, there's the hold.
4th penalty on the Eagles here in the first half. 25 yards assessed. So they'll go back to the 16.
That's a big, big hurt for La Sierra. They were moving pretty darn well here.
So they mark the penalty off. Still will be 2nd and goal. $7-0. Arlington. The only point scored in the first half came on a pick 6. Adrian Mendoza went 98 yards. Pasalacqua in the far slot. Split out to the far side is Rockwell. But Roy's going to look over the middle. Incomplete. One-on-one coverage. Roman and Mays locked up. 3rd down. Flag on the play. Let's see what that is. Wow.
Man.
From Roman's reaction, I think it may be on him, but let's wait. Second down pass falls incomplete, but there's a penalty. We're getting a look at Ruben Romo. Our white hat, he'll sort it out for us.
Pass interference.
So half the distance, and it'll be second down. Change in the rule. It's not the pro or the college rule. Just mark the distance. Emmanuel Quintero, who's a defensive player, in as a fullback. Avalana running left. And he gets inside the 5. Jake Christensen will bring him down at the 4-yard line. 4 more yards on the play. Third down.
A great run here from the running back, just getting those extra yards after contact.
Diaz and Gonzalez, both pretty good tacklers. Third down. Avalana wrapped up at the waist as he tries to go through. That was Anthony Trujillo pulling him down. Maybe a yard on the play for Avalana. So here we go. Here's decision time. Clock moving. You're down 7-0.
Got to go for it.
Eddie Roy. Coming back out on the field. 4th and goal from the 3. Here we go. Pasalacqua far slot, Rockwell far side. Mays near side, Valtierra near slot. Here's the throw. Valtierra. Did he get in? They say he's down. Oh, my.
He did not. Wow.
Goal line stand for the Arlington defense. Rene Valtierra made the catch, tried to lean into the end zone, but he was stopped.
Here's the replay right at the goal line here.
Great ground level shot. Valtierra with the catch, and that's good fundamentals there by Christensen.
That ball never crossed the plane.
Mendoza came over top to make sure. So Valtierra with a reception, but just short of the first down. Man, right on the goal line. Let's see if the defense can come up with something here. 5:53 to play in the first half.
They're going to have to call a timeout. A little confusion there. Only 10 men on the field.
So Kevin Argumosa will take a timeout for Arlington, and they'll talk it over. Look at where that ball's sitting. Inside the 1-yard line. So this would be a 99-yard or 99.5-yard drive here. If you're La Sierra, you're hoping if your defense can hold up, you can still get points out of that turnover. You know, force them 3 and out, have them punt it, and you can still get the ball back at the 30, 35-yard line.
Look at that ball just sitting there.
Great shot there. Natural grass, that's good to see. There will not be natural grass here next year from what I understand.
That is the rumor around town, but you never know what happens. It was supposed to be demolished. This entire field was supposed to be demolished the day after graduation. Didn't happen, so they had to kind of fix the grass.
I will say this is the first time I've been here, I think, this year. The field, no, we were here for a Hillcrest game, weren't we? The field looks good.
Yeah, it does, finally. Finally looking good.
1st and 10.
Last year it looked like they were playing in dirt. Of course, we had a lot of rain last year. And
here's the give. Surging up to about the 4-yard line. With the carry is Coron Logan. So Logan gets him a little bit more breathing room. The Friday Night Jeff rally tonight.
I can't wait. It's going to be shenanigans galore with highlights, interviews, and scores from across the land.
Jaime Yoguez as the fullback. And Logan again crosses over the 6. You should do soccer, but then you get to say cool things like the 18 and the 6.
I don't even know what that means.
It's the 18-yard box and the 6-yard box. That's it. It just sounds cool, right? I listen to the British guys, how they do it.
See, I would just bring up Pele references the whole game. Or Messi.
3rd down and 5. Double tight end set with the fullback. Burr the give to Logan, and he'll be bent back at about the 7-yard line. Stepping up, making the hit, Emmanuel Quintero for La Sierra. 4th down coming up. And here comes the punt team. Adrian Mendoza punting. So Hernandez doesn't punt, he only kicks. That's kind of aristocratic.
Very aristocratic.
I mean, Riverside, punters and kickers. I kid.
Punters and kickers. The last guy in the NFL that was a punter and kicker was Frank Corral. That's a Riverside guy.
RCC? Was he a Norte Vista guy?
Norte Vista guy. Played basketball. His brother Eddie was a more accurate kicker, though.
Mays back at the 45. Mendoza gets it away. It'll bounce and be down at the 43-yard line. So a 39-yard kick, no return, and good field position.
I got to go down on the field. I got to interview a special guest.
So we're going to live interview at halftime?
We do.
Live? We'll do it live?
We're doing another live one.
Okay. So Jeff Gordon will leave us for the last 3:45, and he'll come back. So we're going to get you right at the end of the first half? Right at the end of the first half?
Right at the end of the first
Okay. All right. We'll throw it down to Jeff at the end of the first half. Until then, you're stuck with me for the next 3:45. 7-0. Arlington leads La Sierra in what's turning into a defensive struggle, which is a bit of a surprise because Arlington's running game had really picked up over the last couple of weeks. They've won 3 of their last 4. The only loss they had was in overtime on the road at Buena Park. And then La Sierra put up 47 points and 605 yards the last time they played. That was against Rubidoux back on September 15th. So 1st and 10 from the 43. Roy to throw, looking over the middle. It's complete. Complete to Mays and pulled down by Cook at about the 34-yard line. So a 9-yard pickup on the play. 8th completion on the game for Eddie Roy. There's the throw, and the zone coverage sits down right in front of it. They'll call him down. There's a flag comes in. So this is a post-play flag. Let's see what Ruben Romo has to say. He's our referee tonight. Thanks for joining us here. So unsportsmanlike. They'll mark it off. And that's a tough one. So the 5th penalty on the Eagles. You just got some momentum. You got 9 yards to the 34. Now they'll back it off. Get a look at the little ascot there. I guess he's wearing a hoodie underneath his uniform, looks like. That's Eric Mays, who obviously Sean Moore very excited about having on the Eagles. So 2nd down will move back into La Sierra territory. So a 1st down is to the 33-yard line. So call it 2nd and about 18. 2-by-2. Mays split out to the near side, and the near slot is Rene Valtierra. Second down. Throwing, going for it all. One-on-one, he's got Mays. Mays incomplete. Making the play is Devon Thomas on coverage for Arlington. Good one-on-one coverage there. Good effort by Mays. Nearly went up and got it. 3rd down. Another look at it here. One-on-one. Roy saw the matchup he wanted, had good protection. Flings it up there. Mays and Thomas both going for the ball. Mays nearly came down with it, but just enough interference from Thomas to knock it away. 3rd down. The only score of the game has been on defense. Mays split out to the near side. Rockwell to the far side. Roy pulls it down. Now he's in trouble. Backpedaling, flings it, looking for Avelana, who's in the vicinity, but incomplete. 4th down. And again, good pressure from the front 4 of Arlington. and they move some guys around, but consistently, Isaac Gomez has been getting good pressure inside. Another look at it. So they're rushing 4, and watch the thrust on the inside. Once he pulls it down, here comes Palazzi from the outside, and Diaz is on him. Has to get rid of it. So 4th and 16, the punt coming up with 3:07 to play here in the second quarter. Rene Valtierra will kick it away. Nick Roman back to field the punt. It'll bounce out of bounds inside the 15. So it looks like they're going to mark it at the 14-yard line. So a 37-yard kick, no return. And that's where Arlington will take it over. 2:59 to play here in the first half. And it's been a defensive battle between the Lions and the Eagles. Opening night of River Valley League play. And I'm telling you, they're probably, you say the top 3 teams go to the playoffs. You figure Norte Vista has that one of the spots locked up. There's going to be a dogfight for those last 2 spots between 4 teams. Arlington, La Sierra, Patriot, Hillcrest will be in the mix. Here's the give. This is Thomas running right. Thomas bumped out of bounds, gets about the 17-yard line. 3 yards on the play for him. So it looks like a rotation between Quan Logan and Akili Thomas at the running back position. Another look at the play. Thomas trying to get the edge. And he stopped. Among the guys who was there, Juan Sanchez helping out. The defense for La Sierra. Clock stops at 2:51. Thomas now trying the left side, still burrowing forward. So they'll mark it over the 20 to about the 22-yard line. So 3rd down, 1st down over the 25. Thomas right up the middle puts his head down, is flung down right at the 25 by Quintero, but they'll say he got over with the forward progress 1st down. They'll mark it to the 26. Clock moving as we're just to get to 2 minutes to play. Here's Thomas. Went down at the 26. Burr the toss to Thomas. Trying to find some space. Cuts back inside. Runs right into Andrew Bruner-Riles and goes down after some more Eagles show up. Maybe a yard on the play, and the clock continues to tick. So up 7-0. Arlington gets the ball to start the second half. Rick Covington up here making the play calls for the Lions. Thomas out of the backfield. Thomas over the 30, down to the 35. Should be close to a 1st down if he didn't get it. Getting up from the bottom of the pile there, Matthew Cardenas was the first man there. Flag will bring it all back. Holding on Arlington. The 3rd penalty on the Lions for 25 yards. 2nd hold called on them. All comes back. Back to the 15-yard line. 1:12 to play in the first half. Right at halftime, we'll throw it down to the field where Jeff Gorham will be down there with a very special guest. We already saw, we'll see the interview he did pregame with Reggie Wyatt, the Hall of Famer. Special guest tonight here at La Sierra. Was a track athlete at USC and participated in the 1996 Olympics. Looks like Coach Argamos is going to be content to just let the clock run. From the 15, 1st down. Pulls it down. Now he throws it incomplete. It was in the direction of Dejon Moore. Clock stops with 47 seconds left, and it's third down. Arlington 3-2 coming in on the year. La Sierra 1-4 now. Let me clarify that a little bit for La Sierra. They won on the 15th against Rubidoux 47-14. Because an ineligible player was used, it is ruled a forfeit. And I talked to Coach Moore about it, and I just said, it was a paperwork error that we thought we had the correct information, and then we got a call Monday saying that we didn't have the right information. So they're holding the player out, obviously, until that's resolved. But he seemed confident that they'll be all good to go by next week. Of course, they got a game to play right here, and they trail 7-0 as we go to the end of the second quarter. Here's the give to Logan. Karan Logan will be wrestled down at about the 20. Parker Pasalakwa with the tackle. And some jawing going on. So fourth down coming up, and the punt coming from Adrian Mendoza. And there's been a little testiness. I mean, part of it is, hey, it's league play, and part of it is naturally there are a couple of Arlington guys from last year playing for La Sierra. And so timeout, and they'll talk it over. Scores, we had a couple of out-of-town scores earlier. Ramona leading Patriot 13-10. And over at third in Chicago, it was 21-0 Orange Vista over JW North in the Ivy opener. Obviously, Ramona and Patriot both in the River Valley League. And then yesterday, right here on this field, River Valley League opener between Hillcrest and Norte Vista. It was Novi rolling 42-14. Fourth down, punt team on for Arlington. Eric Mays back to receive, and obviously he can make some plays. So if he can catch the ball, maybe he can put La Sierra in a position to where they could potentially put some points on the board before the end of the half. Mendoza will kick. He booms it. Fielded. Well, he won't field it now. He let it go. It bounced off his foot at about the 36-yard line. So the total yardage on the kick will be 35 yards, no return. Check that, 45 yards, no return. And first down for La Sierra at the La Sierra 36. See there, hits him on the foot. And Dejon Moore bearing down on him, meaning Eric Mays. So they'll call it the 37. So a 42-yard kick, no return. And about 22 and a half seconds, and now you go to that air raid. So I believe La Sierra, it says 3 on the board. I believe they only have 1 timeout left. So let's see if they decide to use it. They can still use the middle of the field, obviously, if they have the timeout. Empty set. 3 receivers to the near side. Roy over the middle to Pasalakwa. And now him and Mendoza start jawing a little bit. Incomplete. Second down. So we're talking about the rush. You know, it's a 4-man rush for Arlington, but it's great. You know, Kevin Argamosa, who runs the defense for the Lions. We talked before the game about, you know, guys are going to play on both sides because he needs his best players on the field. When you have a playmaker like Mendoza, you move him around. Now you look at him, he's almost playing like a strong safety spot right now. Second down. Flings it out, incomplete. Valtierra was the intended receiver. In on the coverage, Devon Harris for Arlington, and it brings up a third down. Eddie Roy, the junior, he was fired up before the game. 7-0 the score in favor of Arlington, but he was ready to go. His first action of the year. Because of the transfer, he had to sit out the first 5 games, but he's ready to rock and roll. You see Rockwell split out to the far side, 3 receivers to the near side. Closest to the sideline is Eric Mays for La Sierra. 3rd and 10 coming up. Roy, the give to Avalana, and he's tackled at about the 38-yard line. Making the tackle was Daniel Gonzalez, and they'll be content to let the first half run out. And 7-0 Arlington after 24 minutes of football. So Arlington gets the ball to start the second half. River Valley League opener for both teams, 7-0 at the half. And we'll go down to Jeff Gorham when we have him for the interview. But the first half done here. We'll step aside and come back, and Jeff Gorham will be down on the field with a very special guest involving the Riverside Hall of Fame, and we'll have a couple of interviews in that regard. But thanks for joining us. Football night in Riverside here at Zach Erb Stadium. The Lions 7, the Eagles 0. Back with Jeff Gorham after this.
High school sports are one of the things that make living in California so great.
But sometimes the behavior in the stands can overshadow our achievements on the field.
I love it when my parents show up for me.
But being booed for missing a play can be crushing.
And remember that refs are people too.
They're trying their best to call a fair and correct game.
Hey, and enough with all the swearing.
No one should feel insulted or ashamed because of their race, ethnicity, or gender.
We should be able to hold our heads high after the match, win or lose.
We are here with the head coach of the Lions, Kevin Argumosa. Argumosa, you're leading 7-0. What are your thoughts in the first half?
We're just La Sierra came out, they're playing tough, and we're not executing on things, and then they're playing good football on both sides of the ball, and we're not executing on offense right now. Made a couple mistakes early on with defense. We got to fix those mistakes right now at halftime, and just got to keep pushing it on them. La Sierra's coming out playing good football, and we can't let down, Well,
you guys got 7 points from a great defensive stop, interception, 98 yards. What are your thoughts on that?
That was great. That was our middle linebacker, AJ Mendoza. You just read his key read there and his drop, and fulfilled that interception, so it was exciting. Then we lost him for a couple of plays on offense because he also plays tight end, so it was a tough one.
Well, I was going to say, he was probably pretty tired, but the guy, I told you to bring his birth certificate. I think he's 37 years old, but a great run from that young man.
Yes, yeah, he's a great kid. He runs hard, and I think if he was 37, he probably would have passed out like you and I would have about 50 yards downfield.
Well, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys.
All right, I'm going to send this back up to you. We're going to have a special guest in a minute here. We'll be right back on Riverside TV.
The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Our convenient curbside trash collection services help promote a clean and healthy Riverside. But what do you do when you have items too big or heavy for your can? That's where our bulky item pickup service can help. Before you call for help with your bulky items, be aware that not all items are acceptable for our free curbside service. Furniture, tree trimmings that are properly bundled and no longer than 36 inches, water heaters, and other non-hazardous materials are fine for curbside pickup. Appliances containing freons such as refrigerators, freezers, and room air conditioners may also be picked up curbside by separate appointment. Unacceptable items include hazardous waste, antifreeze, paints, filters, and tires. We also cannot pick up electronic waste such as computer monitors and televisions, or fluorescent bulbs and household batteries. Construction or demolition materials such as scrap wood, metal, concrete, doors, and drywall are also not accepted. These items may be dropped off in person for no cost at the Agua Mansa transfer station or at one of our Clean Up Riverside events. For more information and the current schedule for these drop-off events, please visit riversideca.gov/cleanupriverside or call 951-826-5311, your one-stop shop for city services. To schedule a bulky item pickup, first call your service provider for an appointment. On the day of your appointment, please make sure that your items are curbside by 5:30 a.m. You may have up to 5 items picked up at each service call. If you have an appliance containing Freon, please call the Appliance Recycling Center of America at 1-800-654-2722 for your free pickup appointment. RPU customers may even qualify for a rebate. Visit riversidepublicutilities.com for information on current residential rebate programs. To find out more about the City of Riverside Trash Services or our Clean Up Riverside events, visit the Public Works website at riversideca.gov/publicworks.
And welcome back to Riverside TV. We're at halftime. I'm joined by a special guest, a graduate of Arlington in 1996, Robin Leafblatt. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Robin, you were a track and field superstar at Arlington. You were just inducted into the Arlington Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame. You played soccer at Point Loma. You played professional women's football, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. I played offense and defense.
Now, what team did you play for?
My first 2 years I played for the San Diego Sunfire, and then my last year I played for the Oakland Banshees.
Oh, wow. So a lot. You've done it all. I know you're a weightlifter as well. So what do you not do?
I don't know. I can't think of anything I'm not a great softball player, so anything accuracy-wise, just massive effort. That's about it.
Well, you've had a great year, like I said, the Hall of Fame at Arlington. What did that mean for you?
That was not on my radar, but it was very special to me, mostly just to be able to reconnect with a lot of people that were super impactful for like my young career and made a huge impact on who I became as an athlete in college and what that helped me do to mature as an adult and to be able to give back to other people in the job that I now.
Now, what is your job now?
I'm an exercise physiologist and professor at Santa Ana College, and I teach in the fire technology department. So I coach tactical athletes.
So you're busy all the time.
I am.
Well, I'm going to make your day a little bit better. You were just recently inducted into the Arlington Hall of Fame. Well, I have big news for you. On behalf of Jennifer Goldware, the president of the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame, I wanted to let you know that you've been inducted on the Wall of Distinction for this year, and I want to say congratulations to you.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you to the City of Riverside for investing in me as a young athlete and as a person, and I'm happy to give back however I can.
Now, maybe you can tell us who invested in you at Arlington that made you want to just perform and do what you're doing now.
I think it started with Diane Kruger, who was our ASB liaison at the time, and I was just in her PE class, and she was like, "You're kind of competitive, you should go out for track," and I was like, "Okay," and then it just went from there. So I know John Corona he came to the party into my sophomore year, so it's a whole crew of academic influence, sports coaches that, took the time and the effort to not only give us the skills and the abilities to play and to compete, but also to develop beyond that as with good character, class, and courage, which is what Arlington is all about.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been lucky enough as the vice president, I get to go around and tell everybody that they get to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. But this is special for me. I saw you a few weeks ago at your induction into the Arlington Hall of Fame, and we look forward to seeing you get inducted into the Wall of Distinction here in Riverside.
I so appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm very honored.
Well, she is the great Robin Leafblatt, great athlete at Arlington, does numerous things for the community, and a great person. We're going to have her inducted this year on the Hall of Fame. So for everybody, Robin Leafblatt, Jeff Gorham, we're going to send it back up to you, Gazal.
Live local. Help support your favorite businesses with the Shop Riverside Community Card. With over 200 Riverside businesses giving exclusive discounts and offers to community card holders, there's something for everyone. Participating organizations sell these cards for only $15 each, with $10 going straight back to the organization itself, making the Shop Riverside Community Card a fantastic way to support your favorite local group. For more information about the Shop Riverside Community Card and to find participating businesses, please visit shopriversidenow.com. And don't forget to live local. Shop Riverside.
And welcome back, everybody. We are joined by two wonderful human beings here in the city of Riverside. We have the great Reggie Wyatt Sr. and the Reggie Wyatt Jr. Reggie is a phenomenal athlete, was a great track athlete, one of the best in the entire world. And I have some big news for you today, buddy. I don't know if you know this, but as the vice president of the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame, Jennifer Goldware wanted to invite you to be inducted into the Riverside Hall of Fame Wall of Distinction for this year. How are you feeling about that? Congratulations.
Wow, first of all, I want to say I'm blown away. Was not expecting this, but this is a huge honor, and I'm glad to be a part of this.
Well, Coach, you were instrumental in a lot in your son's career here. How important and how excited are you that he is being recognized here in the city of Riverside?
Well, it's a blessing, for him to go into something at this age, at 33 years old. That's a blessing, and he worked hard. He worked very hard.
Well, I'll tell you, let's go back to you, Reggie. You've had a storied career at USC, the national team. What is your favorite moment as a track superstar?
Man, I have so many, but I think it goes back to age youth track at 9 years old, being a 400-meter junior Olympic champion. That's what started it off for me in my track career, and if it wasn't for that moment, I don't think I would be who I am today. So youth track, running track, that's when it started for me.
Well, we know you were a great track athlete at USC, but you started at La Sierra High School. Can you anybody you want to thank from that La Sierra coaching staff that was back in the day beside your father here?
Well, this guy, obviously, Coach Jacobsmeyer, Coach Crick, Coach Diaz. You guys were phenomenal. Thank you guys for being a part of the state championship in 2009. So it's been a blessing.
And last thing, Coach, how does this make your family feel? I mean, it's a wonderful honor here, but it's kind of come to fruition. Like I said, 33 years old, he's doing big things in the world. How proud are you of him?
Very proud. My mom passed away, my dad, and they weren't able to see this, and I am happy that I'm able to see it, and it's just a blessing that he's doing what he's doing today, and I just, it's been fun.
Well, once again, congratulations. You're the newest member of the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame Wall of Distinction, and I couldn't be more proud. I saw you as a young guy running around, and really, really happy for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, thank you very much, and I'll tell you what, we have more surprises coming up later on this evening, but right now it's all about the Wyatt family here at the city of Riverside.
I'm Cheech Marin, and we're inviting you to reserve your spot for the inaugural showing of Cheech Collects. So get your tickets today. We're looking for you.
The City of Riverside Public Works Department provides high-quality trash and recycling services for our customers. Convenient curbside trash collection services promote a clean and healthy Riverside. To help us provide you with top-quality service, we ask you to follow a few key rules. There are 3 different containers for your trash. The blue bin is for recyclables and should only be used for clean recyclable materials such as aluminum cans, cardboard, glass bottles, plastics, and styrofoam. The old brown bin, or new bin with gray lid, is for standard household trash and items not suitable for the other bins, such as animal waste, cactus, palm fronds, soil products, and other waste. The green barrel is for your grass clippings, leaves, weeds, and other plant materials, excluding palm fronds, cactus, and yucca. And please remember not to use any of the containers for heavy construction waste such as concrete. For a complete guide to sorting your trash, please visit riversideca.gov/publicworks.
High school sports are one of the things that make living in California so great.
Athletics builds character, teamwork, physical fitness,
and shows what hard work can achieve.
And some of us can even earn a college scholarship or qualify for the Olympics.
But sometimes the behavior in the stands can overshadow our achievements on the field.
I love it when my parents show up for me.
But being booed for missing a play can be crushing.
Parents who lose their minds when we don't score aren't helping.
It can actually be super distracting. We should be able to hold our heads high after the match, win or lose.
and remember that refs are people too.
They're trying their best to call a fair and correct game.
Even if you may not love the call.
Seeing and hearing people, belligerently be mean to you, it makes you not want to play anymore. It makes you just want to go sit on the sidelines and cry. Like, it's not fun.
No one should feel insulted or ashamed because of their race, ethnicity, or gender.
Hey, and enough with all the swearing.
Anger has no place here. Thank you for being part of the change, and thank you for being there to lift us up.
Live local. Help support your favorite businesses with the Shop Riverside Community Card. With over 200 Riverside businesses giving exclusive discounts and offers to community card holders, there's something for everyone. Participating organizations sell these cards for only $15 each, with $10 going straight back to the organization itself, making the Shop Riverside Community Card a fantastic way to support your favorite local group. For more information about the Shop Riverside Community Card and to find participating businesses, please visit shopriversidenow.com. And don't forget to live local. Shop Riverside.
High school sports are one of the things that make living in California so great.
But sometimes the behavior in the stands can overshadow our achievements on the field.
I love it when my parents show up for me.
But being booed for missing a play can be crushing.
And remember that refs are people too.
They're trying their best to call a fair and correct game.
Hey, and enough with all the swearing.
No one should feel insulted or ashamed because of their race, ethnicity, or gender.
We should be able to hold our heads high after the match, win or lose.
The Riverside City Clerk's Office's mission is to enhance community trust and promote equitable public services by providing accessible and efficient legislative support, digital services, and city records to residents, city council, city staff, and business partners. We prioritize fiscal responsibility and adapt innovative services to meet the ever-changing needs of the community. We strive to provide residents and businesses with responsive and optimal services. So what does that all mean? Our lean and high-performing team is divided among three important functions: legislative, administrative support, and resident services. Besides working as a partner with every city department, the City Clerk's Office is responsible for many public-facing duties such as our passport acceptance facility. The Passport team averages over 6,000 applications processed annually, making us the most widely used and highest performing passport facility in the region. As the keepers of the city's legislative historical record, we are the go-to office for public information requests. On average, our office fulfills over 1,600 requests a year with a 3-day average response time, much faster than the 10 days required by state law. Every 10 years after the U.S. Census, the city is required to redraw its ward boundaries to ensure equal representation, and the city clerk's office is an integral part of that effort. In 2022 and 23, we hosted and attended 40 community meetings to gather input from our residents on how we should reshape Riverside. Visit ReshapeRiverside.com to find out more about this process and to learn about Riverside's new ward boundaries. The city clerk's office is also responsible for municipal elections, as well as the onboarding and swearing in of all newly elected council members and newly appointed board and commission members. Our office processes all applications for new members and provides annual training for the city's legislative bodies. We provide staff and legislative support for 8 of the city's 18 boards and commissions. The city clerk's office also provides agenda processing for city council and committees, as well as the boards and commissions that we support, averaging over 200 agendas processed per year. As the City of Riverside's filing officer, the city clerk is responsible for processing financial disclosure forms for public officials as well as routing contracts for execution. All this work would not be possible without our dedicated team. City clerks truly are the grease that keep the wheels of municipal government turning, and our office is here to support Riverside's residents by ensuring that the decision-making process is transparent to the public, complies with federal, state, and local regulations, and is properly recorded. If you have a public records request, want to know more about the city's legislative history, or have an interest in running for public office, the Riverside City Clerks team is here for you. To find out more, please visit riversideca.gov/cityclerk.
So today we're standing here in front of the Grandmother's mural, and this is a mural done by an artist named Denise Silva, who is a fantastic artist in our community. And we found this mural when she submitted it for another proposal. And when we, the staff saw it, we said this has to go up somewhere in Riverside.
So I was a little intimidated by the, just sending in a concept, but I thought, this is something that I really wanted to do, and actually I just felt really called to submit it. I had become a grandmother, and the way the universe works, it sent this quote in my direction, and it was, "When the grandmothers from the 4 directions speak, a new time is coming." So the 4 directions are represented by the image of the 4 grandmothers: Tongva, people of the earth; Liseño, people of the west; Cahuilla, people of the desert; and Serrano, people of the pines.
When the 4 grandmothers get together, the folklore is that it's winds of change. And what we have done is, so that there is representation all throughout the community, is we have a grandmother at 4 different libraries throughout the community. And so they're all 4 different locations, but they come together here at the main library. And this main library was a big change for the community from what we had before to what we are now.
Our elders, and them being, people that have given us love, that have protected us, have given us safe spaces. I would love for the community to feel that, because that was an intention that I really put into the work. I really wanted to give our indigenous people of the area, I wanted to give them some representation. I wanted to honor them. I wanted to uplift them. They're a reflection of my own ancestors. They're a reflection of my mother and my grandmothers, and I just hope that other people, especially indigenous people and people of color, see themselves in the art, and they feel seen and they feel honored.
was the dedication ceremony for Mulberry Village 10 transitional living cottages that will be available for those who have recently been homeless, that are either living in a shelter or a halfway home or something along those lines, that are ready for the next step, but maybe not exactly fully ready to be 100% independent yet.
Well, this is one piece and one of a myriad of solutions that we need to address homelessness in our city. So this housing will support some of the most vulnerable people on our streets. We need more of it, and housing at all different levels of support. So we have to start somewhere, and this is a really awesome start.
The city has a dedicated case manager that will be providing the support for the residents here. And then we also partner with Riverside Housing Development Corporation, who will be the property manager. And they will be making sure that the property is well maintained and making sure everybody's adhering to their lease.
We're talking about people that will come in here probably with nothing. And so they have nothing to furnish with. So our agreement with...
Welcome back. Azal Hassan with you. A very busy Jeff Gorham, and we got Peyton Beatty down on the sideline here. 7-0 at the half, and the sum of our ambition, the one pick six. Otherwise, it's been a lot of slap and tickle, right?
A lot of slap and tickle, a lot of sumo wrestling. Nobody getting out of that circle to score. And I'll tell you, it's been I don't even know what you call it. Pep Fernandez would call it a slobber knocker. I call it ugly football in the first half. Love to see some offense generated. Here's the highlights.
Yeah, 109 total yards in the first half, but this was the biggest play as Adrian Mendoza took the pick six all the way back, 96 yards for the touchdown, and that's the only score of the first half. 44 total yards for Arlington, all on the ground. And as I mentioned, 109 yards as there's one of the big plays made by Eric Mays for La Sierra. But otherwise, the defense is kind of feeling each other out here, and we'll see what happens in the second half. 7-0 lead for the Lions. They'll get the ball to start here in the second half. Nick Roman and Reese Contreras back to receive. Roman from the 15. Up to the 30. And down at the 30-yard line. Tackle on the play made by Andrew Bruner-Riles. 1st and 10 coming up for Arlington. So they like to get something going here, Jeff, on offense. Their only score has come from the defense.
Yeah, the 45-year-old Adrian Mendoza ran all the way.
Big guy running with the football is always good, and we got first down here from the 31. Contreras split out to the near side. This is Thomas trying to run outside 35, and he'll surge over about the 36-yard line. Making the tackle on the play is Emmanuel Mayorga. Let's go down to the sideline. Peyton Beatty's got something for us.
Yeah, here tonight at the game, La Sierra versus Arlington. Arlington is up 7-0 against La Sierra. I talked to both of the coaches at halftime, and they said that they really need to work on their offense for both teams. Both teams' defense are playing great tonight, but the offense, their head's just not really in the game. They really need to focus on playing the game and playing football, get out there and just run the ball, throw the ball when they need to, because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing right now. But, they both are back, ready to go. They both think that they got it tonight in the bag. So I'm excited to see what happens here second half of the game, because the players are ready to get back in it and do what they need to do. Now back up to you guys.
Isaac Del Toro runs headlong into Paulo Sanchez. So 3rd down coming up for Arlington. Sanchez with the big play for the defense. And, Ken Batdorf stopped by to say hello. Nice to see him. But, that is always the question, right? Is it great defense or is it bad offense?
Yeah.
Ken seemed to think it was good defense.
He said it was great defense on both teams. But I'll tell you what, the better defense is the best offense. Somebody has to score to win this ball game. And right now, Arlington just scoring on the defensive side of the football.
Del Toro pulled down by Emmanuel Quintero. And 4th down coming up, and the running game just can't get out of gear for Arlington. Here's Del Toro, and shooting right down and grabbing him by the jersey. Remember the old tearaway jerseys, Jeff?
I do remember those. I'm still not a big fan of the hoods. They wear hoods underneath their jersey and it sticks out the back. Not a big fan.
No, I mean, it's more surface area to tackle, unfortunately.
Yeah, see, there's the hood right there.
That's Eric Mays standing at the 34-yard line of the Eagles. Mendoza will punt it. Hayes will field it at the 35, and he fumbles the football, picks it back up, and maybe a yard on the return. So a 35-yard kick, maybe a yard return, and they'll start from the 36-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Mays almost lost this one the second time. Able to get it quickly, but defense nearly got his hand on it.
I'll have to retweet that video of Bill Parcells talking about catching the punts. Why that's so important. Now, they didn't lose much yardage on that one, but could have been disastrous. 1st and 10 for La Sierra here in the 3rd quarter. Aiden Rockwell split out to the far side. Roy hands it off to Avellana. Looks like Cook upended him, but he's driving the legs. They'll mark him up to the 37-yard line. Mr. Avellana, Mr. TJ Avellana for 2 more yards, Jeff.
Bob Dabalina.
Do you have Bob Dabalinas around Norte Vista?
We have no Bob Dabalinas anywhere around.
Every office I've worked in, we've had several Bob Dabalinas. 2nd and 8. Mays split to the near side. Roy to throw. Loses it. I think they're going to rule that an incomplete pass. Indeed, they did. 3rd down.
That's the one thing Arlington has been able to do is get to the quarterback.
Pressure.
A lot of pressure on Roy to get rid of the football here. As you see, they get right up through those gaps.
Diaz coming from the outside, Pelagi, and then Gomez has been very good. Isaac Gomez pushing up the middle, and a flag. I'm sorry, no flag. It's just they're resetting the ball. Incomplete pass. Ruben Romo restores order, and here we go.
There's blitz.
Mendoza timing the snap complete to Mays, and Thomas brings him down short of the 1st down.
Mays.
They're going to say they're going to give it to him. Wow.
Hey, that's a
good job by Mays to fight for that yardage.
And like I said, Mays is a fighting machine. I mean, he's taking some hits and pushing guys off. Watch here in the replay after the catch. This isn't the first time we've seen him do this tonight. He refuses to go down. Might have been a little bit of a face mask, just missed.
They mark it up to the 47-yard line. 4 catches for Mays for 65 yards. 1st and 10. The sticks move for La Sierra. 1st and 10. Going up top. One-on-one. He's got Mays and Thomas. Incomplete. The home crowd wants a flag, and they'll get it. Piece of, maybe a handful of jersey by Thomas. Wait for Ruben Romo.
I think they're going to call a hold. Let's see here.
Ruben Romo somewhat resembles, remember the Joker, Cesar Romero?
He does look like Cesar Romero.
Who played a lot more roles in the Joker, but holding on the defense, so it'll move up.
I think that's a spot foul, isn't it? Right where the...
So the fourth penalty, on Arlington moves the ball up to the 44-yard line. So 2-by-2, Valterra in the near slot. Avellana will angle to the right side, runs right into Gonzalez, and then there's Gomez pulling him down. TJ Avalana, the running back for La Sierra. Coach Moore very high on him. Loves his competitive nature. Over 500 yards this year, ran for nearly 500 last year. Although Arlington kept him in check. Last year against Arlington, just 4 yards on 6 carries. No gain on that play, 2nd and 10. So now Rockwell split out to the near side. Pasalacqua in the far slot. Actually, they have 4 receivers bunched to the far side. Roy looking, coming across the pattern is Avalana, and he can't hold on it. Incomplete. Now, I think part of the reason that Sean Moore is not running his normal up-tempo is because Eddie Roy's first game, right? Because he had to sit out. I'm guessing once they have everything else in, they'll be able to speed it up a little bit. But to be fair to Eddie, I mean, he's had a couple of balls dropped on him.
Yeah, I can count about 5 I can think of offhand.
3rd and 10 coming up. Mays to the far side. Pasalacqua out there in the far slot. Then Rockwell joins him. Montrell Gitchaway split to the near side. Here comes the pressure. Here's the throw. In and out of the hands of Gitchaway. Thomas on the coverage, 4th down.
And another drop pass. We just mentioned it, and it came to fruition once again.
Would have had the first down. Gitchaway, though, a freshman, and Coach Moore just wants to get him acclimated to the speed of the varsity game. And that's kind of the chance that you were a coach. And I know sometimes coaches are loath to play freshmen just because of the speed of the game. Get them going at the freshman level, and then you move them up. There's Devon Thomas, did a nice job on coverage.
See, I was a different coach. I would always throw my freshmen into the fire.
Well, looks like they're going to go for it here. 4th and 10 from the 43 of Arlington. Roy looking for it all. He's got Mays locked up with Thomas. No flag that time. Ball over on downs. Now, we talked about it earlier that Mays didn't play football last year. So obviously we've seen the athleticism and, looks the part and everything. But there's then kind of the technical part of the game.
Yes, the meat and potatoes. You got to catch the football. You can do all you want, running, jumping, and skying through the air, but you got to be able to make those big catches.
Option. Burr takes it himself into La Sierra territory. Close to a first down, about an 8-yard run on the play by Burr.
And that might be their best option right now is running the quarterback with the football.
There's Burr. Did he give himself up? He didn't, actually, so there you go. Cardenas makes the tackle. It's a first down. They move the sticks from the 49 of La Sierra. Here's the give right up the middle. This is Coron Logan. And Logan dives over the 40 to about the 39. Sticks move up yet again. So now they're just kind of running it between the tackles up the middle. They tried some stuff with the option and trying to get the edge. Watch right here. This is just straight up. Get your helmet on the guy. Get hat to hat, and then running behind is Coron Logan, and he dives down. Cardenas there to clean it up on the tackle. 1st and 10 from the La Sierra 40. Thompson in motion. Right up the middle to Logan. Surges through the first hit. Runs through Quintero. Finally brought down by Andrew Bruner-Riles.
There's a flag after the play. A little shenanigans.
You're calling shenanigans?
I'm calling shenanigans.
I can't call shenanigans.
There's some shenanigans going on. I believe it's going to be a personal foul against La Sierra. That's going to move 15 yards. I think he kicked him. Somebody kicked someone.
That's disappointing. Sean Moore played for Dick Bruick, and we've had that conversation where he really believes discipline is the key to a successful football program.
Oh, that's going to be against the offense.
So is that kicking or tripping? It's so subtle. Well, that's a personal foul. It's going to be a 15-yarder.
Yeah, I think he kicked him as he was down. That's soccer. You don't do that in football.
50 yards on 5 penalties. The second penalty assessed against Arlington, and that moves them back. Second and long for Arlington. Supposed to be a direct snap. The ball loose on the turf. Still loose. Who's got it? La Sierra had a shot on it. Looks like Arlington recovered. It was Karan Logan falling on it. So Orange Vista, 46-13 over North. That game heading to the fourth quarter. End of the third quarter, Ramona 19-17 over Patriots.
Wow, some close ones in the River Valley League, but that's a big surprise to me. Orange Vista putting the hurt to John W. North.
So a 4-yard loss on the play. Third down. Burr looking deep. He's got a man. Reese Contreras, did he get it? He did not. Incomplete. Fourth down. Sorry. Yeah, it should be fourth down.
Wow, what a good effort, though, by both the offense and defense going over the top.
Contreras went up for it. Oh, that's right. It'll be third down because it was the penalty. That's right. Patriots just taking the lead 24-19.
Over Ram High.
Chris Fowler doing his evil things. He looks very evil.
He does. He looks like a Bond villain.
Throw it over. Contreras trying to reel it in, and Coach Argamosa really likes Contreras. Here's the third down play. Burr launching. Incomplete, looking for Nick Roman on the coverage for La Sierra. Joel Cabrera, fourth down.
See, I'm of the old belief, the old thought process is you're on a grass field. That ball's going, you're jumping and doing anything you can. You're not going to get rug burn here. I would have dove for that.
I talked with both coaches before the game. They both seem to prefer the grass fields. It's funny because Sean Moore was talking about the renovations that are expected here at Norte Vista, and he was going to welcome the turf, but he did say, the preference would be to play on grass if you maintained it correctly. Mendoza to punt. Good kick. Mays will have to back off. It'll roll dead at about the 17-yard line. So a 41-yard kick, no return, and inside the 20 is where La Sierra will start it.
And make sure you tune in tonight for the Pep Rally at 11 p.m.
I thought it was the Jeff Rally.
Oh, it is. When Pep is not there, it's going to turn into some...
It's like the parents are away and you're having a party.
No, I'm inviting everyone over.
Now, you invited just 6 people, and then they all tell people, and all of a sudden.
Oh,
did that ever happen as a youngster at the Gorham household?
No, I'm going to be honest. Everybody that knows my dad, John Gorham.
Oh, that's right.
He was. I was not permitted to go to parties.
Okay.
You know why? My dad's theory was always correct for the most part. He said nothing good happens after 10 o'clock when you're in high school, so you're not going out after 10.
First and 10 from the 17. Looking for Mays, incomplete. And you see the two-man backfield there, probably a response to the pressure that Arlington has been able to get.
Yeah, and you can tell the timing's just not there yet with Roy. I mean, he hasn't, like I said, the first game back.
But, I mean, there's some urgency now. Because, listen, it's 4:37 to go in the third quarter, and it's only 7-0. Not like you're getting blown out. You got to figure out a way to at least tie this thing.
That's like a baseball score. We can't tie it, or else I'll be late to the Jeff Rally.
What was that 8-5 game last week? Was it Poly? Poly lost 8-5 against Redlands?
In the bottom of the ninth inning.
There's a little comeback word on the outside, and I've been waiting to call this man's name all night as he goes down after about a 6-yard pickup, Aiden Rockwell.
Correct. Rockwell, do you remember the singer? Remember who was his father?
Aiden Rockwell, somebody was watching him on that play. They tackled him after the play. Of course, come on. Jeff, I mean, Barry Gordy's son.
Yes.
Come on. So Rockwell makes the reception. 3rd down and 5 coming up. And they go right back to Rockwell. I wonder who's watching him now. The IRS? In and out of his hands, incomplete. 4th down. Oh. I'm Lionel Richie up here, Jeff. I'll do this all night long. Another look at it.
But, that's a Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he was a backup singer on that. 4th down coming up. Nick Roman back to receive the kick, and Rene Valtierra. You talk a lot about Javier Hernandez. How about Rene Valtierra? Double duty, punting and kicking for the Eagles.
Valtierra, that's a good name.
Valtierra.
But you know what, though? I'm going to be honest with you. I like to see some scoring. This is making
Great
me...
defense.
Oh, this is making me crazy.
Great defense. Fair catch called by Roman, and he catches the ball at the 47-yard line, so a 31-yard kick, no return. Good field position for Arlington. I think, we talk about Kevin Argumosa, field position, ball control. That's what they're trying to do.
Well, if they can just run this smash mouth football and just get it, 4 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah, I do think he wants to execute the run game, and I think we'll see that inside run a little bit more.
That have been
working, and they were trying that option stuff to vary, which I understand. But when something's working, I think you got to keep going. You know who agrees with me? Our friend Alan Zinsmeister's been texting me. You know Alan's a football guy.
Yeah, of course.
Like he played against literal Hall of Famers. 1st and 10 from the 47.
I'm surprised he's still watching this.
Akili Thomas takes a 2-yard loss. Good play again by the defense, stepping up. Elias Ross making the play for Lester. No, it's funny because he says, I like, at the beginning he would say, I like watching you and Jeff because I have nothing invested in any team. It's just fun for me to watch. But because he loves the game so much.
He is a purist.
It drives him nuts when things don't go right. It's really funny. He's he's just a funny man to begin with. But you've talked to him, and he gets very passionate.
I'm getting passionate about somebody please score. You know what I'm getting passionate about is watching this grass grow. Because that's all I'm doing right now. We need some highlights. We're going to have one highlight for the pep rally, the Jeff rally.
2nd down. Here's Thomas in motion. And here's the handoff to Akili Thomas. Thomas trying to slip. He gets up to midfield. Forced out of bounds by Alexis Ruelas. First time we've called Ruelas' name. 5-yard gain on that play for Thomas. 3rd down. And there's Akili Thomas splitting carries with Karan Logan. The shove there by Ruelas. 3rd down. And we talk about this ad nauseum every week. Even if you're a dominant run team, Jeff, playoff comes.
You got to be able to throw the football.
Quarterback's got to be able to make a play or two if you want to win. 3rd and 7. Here's the throw. Mendoza can't hold on to it, incomplete. On the coverage was Matthew Cardenas. 4th down coming up. Good idea. So here comes Mendoza to punt it away. Mendoza, he's the game right now, right? What is that? Triple H used to say, I am the game. No, Adrian Mendoza is the game tonight because he has the only 7 points or 6 points.
And he's 56 years old.
Here's the punt.
So, in his senior superlative, is he a senior, I hope?
He's a senior.
Okay, so in his yearbook this year, it'll have a picture of Mendoza, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be best beard.
42-yard kick there, no return, and 1st and 10 for La Sierra. That's fairly innocuous. I thought you were going to come up with something deep. I thought you were digging deep on that one.
No, just a picture of a guy with the best beard.
So here's the Mendoza pick 6 from the 4-yard line. And he knew right away. He's pointing.
That's the highlight for tonight's show.
It's a long highlight.
54-13. North is getting
crushed.
Roy to Mays. Gets out of Devon Thomas's tackle up to the 14-yard line. And now Mendoza comes over for good measure. So about a 5-yard pickup on the play. 5th reception for Mays. He's got 70 yards. Another look at that play.
Let's see after the play, if we can get this camera, guys. After the play, watch a little shenanigans here. Watch. Keep watching. I was just angry.
I didn't see anything there. That's two guys playing football. Roy to the outside. Complete to Rockwell. Rockwell slips one tackle. He has the first down and more. Spun out of bounds at the 27-yard line. 10-yard pickup on the play. Aiden Rockwell making things happen. $10 yards up to the 25-yard line. Eagles move the sticks. So the adjustment came, keeping an extra running back in to maybe block on the pressure has helped a little bit, but now they go back to the empty.
My anxiety is at an all-time high right now because I have to have some scoring. More cowbell. We need more scoring.
More football, yeah.
More football. This is like bad hockey.
Pasalacqua in the far slot, in the near slot, Valtierra. So 2-by-2. The throw to the outside. Rockwell with the catch. And he's down right near the line of scrimmage. Making the tackle, Caden Patel for Arlington. Ticking down to the end of the third quarter. It's interesting how the world works, right? I call a soccer match the last 2 nights. 9 goals Wednesday, 4 goals on Friday. Today, 7 points in a football game. I'm like Jerry Seinfeld. It all balances out, right? If I'd called 2 1-0 soccer matches, we'd be in a 35-21 game today.
It might have been better than this right now. I hate to say it. I'm not being a mean guy.
Well, the 4-0 soccer game was incredible. I mean, the 5-4 game was fantastic. But the 4-0 game yesterday was interesting. It was very interesting. So a penalty on the play marked off against Arlington. So it'll give another first down to La Sierra.
Wow, this is a 15-yarder.
Yeah. What's interesting is we had that conversation with Ken Bat, and I thought the same thing. So he was telling, we had the pass interference on the first half that was not a first down. Well, Ken said that should have been a first down, which is what you and I thought.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. 1st and 10 from the 42.
He wrote the original rules to football.
Yeah, I don't think there's any coach that knows the rules better than Ken Batdorf. Out of the backfield, Avalon, I can't hold on to it.
A lot of drop balls here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about maybe Roy not being in rhythm. Maybe his receivers just aren't in rhythm in terms of knowing where to receive the ball from him. I don't know any other way to explain it.
It's cold. Maybe it's just cold.
It could be.
No,
they all wear the gloves now.
Everybody with the gloves. Maybe go without the gloves. Hey, Macarena's going on.
The sensation of 1996. Along with Viva Variety on Comedy Central. Remember that? Yeah. 2nd and 10 from the 42. Was it Michael Ian Black? Valtierra in the near slot. Mays to the near side. Roy to throw. Looking for Mays, and again, incomplete. A little bit of a low throw. Couldn't go down and get it.
Maybe there's nails in the football. Or Vaseline. Vaseline all over the ball.
Need some stickum. Somebody get Lester Hayes on the phone.
Spray some tough skin on those hands.
3rd and 10 from the 42 for La Sierra. 7-0 Arlington. We've had one score. It was on the first drive, a pick six. Third down, they have the double backs complete. Christensen with the stick up at about the 44-yard line, so will not be enough for the first down. Completion to Pasalakwa. So Pasalakwa, his second reception. He has 15 yards. The Arlington transfer.
This is a big hit. Watch this hit at the end of the play.
And Christensen, 2-year varsity guy, makes the hit. So fourth down, they're going for it. Thomas looking, Thomas throwing. It worked the first time, not that time. They had two receivers kind of in the same vicinity, and here comes some extra creative. You don't like to see that.
No.
And here come the flags. It's been testy all night.
This is not good.
Been testy all night, and now guys pulling each other away. And what happens is you don't want your guy to get into a fight, so you pull him away. He gets upset with you. 48.5 seconds left here in the third quarter. Coaches out there, officials out there trying to separate. So the Eagles coming back to their side, the Lions going back to their side, the officials having a conversation. There were a couple of flags thrown on the play. I just hate that Larry Triplett has to deal with that now.
That is not good for Mr. Triplett.
He's a good man. So now Ruben Romo talking to the La Sierra side. And
now here it is.
So Pasalakwa and Christensen were the first two to get into it. There's the shove. And then here comes Mendoza, the captain, kind of restoring order. And he's talking. He's kind of been gawking a little bit. And now, see, this is where it escalates because his own players, and same thing with La Sierra, they don't want their teammate getting thrown out of the game. And then somebody bumps into somebody and it gets escalated. So Sean Moore out talking to Ruben Romo, who's our official.
We could call the game and play it tomorrow morning. I just won't be here.
Ruben Romo explaining things to Sean Moore.
Well, there's a highlight for the Jeff rally tonight. Yeah, I'm not going to make it to the show tonight.
Remember when I was a young man working for Rob Fukuzaki? This was my job. He's like, hey, find us good B-roll. Anything that's not highlight related that we can use, you know?
Wow.
So if you have a celebrity shot or a bench shot and they're explaining to Pasalakwa, he's got to keep his cool. Which coach is that, Jeff? Oh, I thought I saw you guys talking before the game.
Oh, I wasn't looking at the screen. Sorry, I was watching Coach on the field.
But there's Kevin Argamo, and you know he doesn't like it.
No.
He's big on discipline. You can see the disgust just in how he's walking around.
That's not I like those seen him walk. Let's put that on the show tonight.
So now he's going to go over, trying to figure out what the officials are doing. Why are you delaying this game here? And now Coach Argamosa going to come out. So they played Bell Gardens, beat him 35-0 last time out. And now Sean Moore and Argamosa having a conversation, trying to figure out what's going on here. But, we were talking, and Coach Argamosa is a Montebello guy. And their rival was Bellegarde. That's a big game every year. Now, Coach Argamosa getting the explanation from Ruben Romo. 7-0 here. The only score came at 8:51 of the first quarter.
Now here comes the principal and athletic director from Arlington.
That's not good. That's not good, right?
That is not good.
Okay.
There's the new athletic director at La Sierra. What do you think they're talking about?
I mean, I'm trying to figure out. I mean, I guess they don't want it to happen again, which I understand. But, I mean, it was a kind of a kerfuffle on the sideline. It did get out of hand a little bit.
But call it a
kerfuffle. And, again, order was restored, though.
I think
no punches were thrown.
No, but here's the problem. There were a couple semi-punches, but here's the problem. It was 4th down, correct?
Yeah.
When the two teams switched, the defense runs in on the field. So it's almost like guys leaving the bench in a brawl. So when they all ran out there, you have, instead of having 11 men on the field, you have 22. Mm-hmm. And therein lies
the rub. That's right. That's
rub.
Right.
And the kerfuffle.
I mean, that's the basketball thing, right?
Yes, it is.
Because if you leave the bench, that's an ejection.
It's the same in football as well. I'd love to be a bug on.
We need Peyton got to be out there with a microphone. Yeah. See, now we don't want to throw her into the fire.
I do. Peyton, get out there.
So live look in.
What's that score down there?
OV 54.
54.
Goose Gossage, Ed Pinckney,
and they're almost done. They're going to make it over to the pep rally. Got to start without me.
So 54, that's the Ivy League opener between Orange Vista and John W. North. And, Orange Vista bruised and battered, but you knew it was going to be tough because their 3 losses were to Mission Hill, which is down in San Diego. They're a power. Their 3 losses, which are very good teams. San Jacinto, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Hey, I guess I'll be there in time.
So... Wow. Now, there has to be an agreement by both schools, right? Or can the official unilaterally just
both principals did make it to the field from both high schools. And there's the 2 athletic directors talking at the 50-yard line.
Wow. So disappointing because this game really was still in the balance. We still had, 13 minutes to go in a 7-0 game.
I'm not going to lie here and say this was probably not our finer moment here for high school football in the city of Riverside.
We were headed for an epic 4th quarter, though, Jeff. You can't have a miraculous comeback unless you fall terribly behind. No, I'm joking.
I know, but
I'm just trying to take the edge off here. This is really disappointing because,
I don't think I've ever seen this happen.
Yeah, maybe cosmetically it wasn't good, but, Two league foes in a 1-score game with 4th quarter still coming up.
Maybe they'll play tomorrow morning in front of no fans.
I don't think the fans were a problem, though.
No, I'm just saying that. So then that doesn't.
It's disappointing because both these coaches.
Hard. The kids work hard.
They both believed disciplined teams, right? And when you lose your cool. And, that's a lesson you got to take out of here is, hey, guys are going to do things. You're going to, it's the course of the game. And, Okay, so that says final. But I'd like to get some information if we have it. If Peyton can get some information, that, because we don't really know is the game suspended? Is it canceled?
She could go out to the 50-yard line.
You got to have her run out to have her grab Ruben Romo. I mean, the officials, I guess, left the field.
Yeah, the officials are in their car and going.
Wow. This is like the Montreal deal in wrestling when Bret Hart lost the title and everybody walked away. 7-0. I guess that is the final. Now to be fair, we've not gotten official word. There was still a quarter to play in this game. We saw this happen. Remember Notre Dame had something like this happen. It was during the playoffs.
Yes.
Okay. So the word we're getting is that a coach and a player got involved in some not good activity, and that's why the game's over.
I'd love to see a replay.
I don't know which coach or who it was or which coach it was. But
is there a way we can get a replay of that entire
So it's over. 7-0 Arlington, the win. Wow, what a rough couple of weeks for a lot. I mean, they win a game and overruled on a technicality. Now they're in a one-score game here in the fourth quarter. And here's the interesting thing, Jeff. The first game I ever did for Riverside TV was a game between La Sierra and King back in 2012 when Mark Reckenwald was still the coach. And La Sierra won that game but had to forfeit it later based on a technicality.
Wow.
So lightning strikes twice. Eerie things, strange things happen at sundown here at Zach Erb Stadium. So 7-0 the final right now. We'll hang on for a bit. Otherwise, we'll sign off. We'll hang on for a bit to see if we can get some information. We do have a field reporter down there today.
I believe she has left the building. All right.
So now we don't know which side it was on and who did what to whom, but apparently there was a situation where a coach got physical with a player. So as a result, game is over. So we're hanging on here, Jeff and I, momentarily. Okay. All right. Okay. So 7-0 the final. That escalated quickly, Jeff. I mean, I don't need to. I don't mean to make light of it.
No.
Obviously, it's a serious situation, but we don't have any information, unfortunately, except that little what we passed on to you. So 7-0. The game suspended and halted late in the third quarter because of an incident on the sideline between a coach and a player. That's what happened. I'm sure we'll find out more. We'll try to get to it at the pep rally this evening. We'll be able to explain more to you about it. So Arlington 7, La Sierra nothing. That's the final from here at Zach Erb Stadium. So for Jeff Gorham, for Peyton Beatty, and for our entire award-winning Riverside TV crew, my name is Ghazal Hassan. Hopefully you'll tune in later tonight for the pep rally, which we will have on 11 o'clock on Riverside TV. Otherwise, we'll talk to you next week. So long, everybody.